In this video, I'm going to explain how to draw the graph of a function. So simply speaking, the graph of a function f is the graph of this equation, y equals f of x. X represents the input value, and y represents the output value of the function. So the graph of a function is the set of all points of x, y pairs that satisfy this rule, this equation. So the first step is to make a little table of x, y values and choose some sample values for x, such as some small numbers like -2, -1, 0, 1, and 2. And for each value of x, we compute the value of y using the rule. Here, in this example, the rule is that y equals x plus 1. So we add 1 to each of these x values, and we get these numbers: -1, 0, 1, 2, and 3. Now each pair represents a point. So -2, -1 is the point here. Then the next point is at -1, 0, and so on. 0, 1, 1, 2, and 2, 3. Now there are other points that should be on the graph because there are some other points, other values of x we should have considered. And if we fill in those gaps between points, then we will get the complete graph of this function. Okay, let's look at the second example. The function is square root of x. Now the domain of this function is, the values of x greater than or equal to 0, because we cannot put negative values under the square root sign. So when we make the table of x, y values, we are going to start from 0. And the graph of this function will be also on the right-hand side of the xy plane, only on the positive side of the x-axis. Now y values are square root of x. So we have square root of 0, square root of 1, square root of 2, square root of 3, and square root of 4. Some of these values we know. Square root of 1 is 1, and square root of 4 is 2. But we are not exactly sure what these values, square root of 2 or square root of 3, are. But it seems that the numbers are increasing, so the numbers will be somewhere between 1 and 2, increasing in this way. Okay, now let's plot these points. 0, 0 first. Then the next point is 1, 1. And we also have this 4, 2. 4, 2. And between 1 and 4, there are square root of 2 and square root of 3. They should be somewhere between 1 and 2, and the numbers should be increasing somewhat. So I believe the numbers are somewhere here. Now we connect these dots, and we will get the graph of this function.